Life feels depressing, right? Well, I can't blame you for feeling that way after witnessing the glorious year of 2020. But how about we take a break from all that and watch something that will put a smile on your face? Okay, since this is anime we're speaking of, it can probably kill you with laughs because our guys in the Far East definitely know how to blend in some good comedy into their works. So without further ado, let's talk about the top 10 best slapstick comedy that are gonna make you laugh your ass off. Number 10. Shimoneta. What is the best way to intensify the comedy of the show? You add perverse jokes, of course, but don't be surprised, it's Japan and it's anime. Shimoneta, from the outside, may look like an underwear-stealing anime, with one of the most bizarre premises I've ever seen, but its comedy hits the mark because of how good it is. What's ironic about all this is that we get to see slapstick perverse comedy in a show that's all about preventing such jokes and making the society chaste. The anime also has an interesting cast, with all those usual character tropes blending in, and the situations our main character gets thrown into are too funny to watch. Shimoneta is one of the most underrated comedy anime out there, so make sure you give it a watch.
これはごく普通の日常アニメなの。モビルスーツとか冒険のしか出てこないの。
そうなんだ。つまんねえな。
つまんねえ言うな。
Most anime represents high school in a rather realistic fashion, but it will never get as realistic as daily lives of high school boys. What is it like to spend time with your gang of boys doing the most teenage things possible? It might be about making your sister angry, or speaking with a girl who suddenly appeared behind you, or those awkward moments we all had in our high school years, and the ones who came to save us, or further drown us, in embarrassment.
いいぞ叩くに心なしか体格も変わってきた。お前男性ホルモンはどうなってんだ。
Daily Lives of High School Boys is an anime that you should watch, and it should be watched by every high schooler to bring back the nostalgia, as well as to laugh until your ribs hurt. The main trio will definitely grip your attention.
Hey sis, doesn't that look like fun? Yeah, for sure!
Well then, it's official. I'm terrified of her.
That's a testament to your intelligence.
Sometimes we don't need complex jokes. We need those good old simple ones. You know, the jokes Carnival Phantasm used to bring in when it was released back in the day. The trope of combining characters from various anime and putting them in a comedic situation never seems to get old. This time we've got the four big giants of isekai sitting peacefully in a high school classroom and learning about basic subjects rather than following their gruesome adventures. Don't include Kazuma in that category because his adventures weren't that hard to begin with.
Surely transform you into the ultimate super soldier. Captain Vice?
Yes, at your service.
Hold on, what are the shovels for?
Even though the art style is very simple, the comedy is top-notch. And don't forget that all of these characters are characters that you're going to love. So that makes these scenarios more interesting and funny. Number 7. Haven't you heard? I'm Sakamoto. Who is Sakamoto? Haven't you heard of him? He's the smartest and most intelligent student in the class, who somehow survives all the pranks pulled on him by his friends. He may look like a nerdy boy with glasses, but he always stands out because of his quick thinking, smart moves, and his rather cunning persona. And as expected, this makes the backseat of the class jealous of him. They set up traps. This nerdy boy avoids it. Yep. That's the formula the show repeats through its entire episodes. If you think that's gonna get boring, well, you're wrong. Rather than the repetition, it is the situations themselves that make the show all the more interesting. I won't be surprised if you say you want to be like Sakamoto after watching this show.
願い一つないこともないぞ。
本当に？
私に恋をさせてくれないか？
は？
Number 6. Arakawa under the bridge. What happens when you're too generous? When Ko Ichinomiya runs in with some kids and gets fallen into the river running underneath Arakawa Bridge, a girl named Nina saves him. But this is actually a curse. Ko's family has a tradition of being indebted to anyone who saves their life. And now Ko needs to fulfill the girl's one and only request: become her boyfriend. At first glance, you might see that Arakawa's comedy isn't as flashy as the others, but it's surely witty enough to make you laugh if you pay attention.
こいつカッパじゃ。
村長はカッパだよ。私が金星人なのと同じくらい確実に村長はカッパだ。
ここの人たち。みんなで。
It is an anime with a rather slow pace, with one episode revolving mostly around one scenario, and the character designs seem unique as well. So watch this when you've got plenty of free time.
いや、別にそこまで言われる筋合いは。
いいじゃないか。貧乏万歳だ。麗しの世界にようこそ。大貧民よ。
Number 5. Oran High School Host Club. Want a reverse harem anime that can give you plenty of laughs? Well, Oran High School Host Club can easily fill that position for you. The anime follows the adventures of Haruhi, who accidentally breaks a vase in the host club room and later joins the club in order to repay the debt.
お母さん、自分はホスト部とかいうわけのわからん連中に捕まってしまいました。
The host club is a boys' club that serves as an enjoyment for the girls in the school, and it's filled with characters of bizarre and weird personalities that you'll immediately fall in love with. The anime even handles concepts like poverty and loneliness in its own comedic fashion, and it will keep you hooked till the end with that comedy. Oh, and there's romance in it as well. Who doesn't love some good old romance with their comedy anime?
やるじゃねえかより。3年の草を恐れ入ったぜ。早く負けて俺のご立派様をお披露目した。
Number 4. Grand Blue. Now this may have been promoted as a diving anime, but don't do the same mistake that everyone else did and watch the anime expecting diving. Sure, you get some diving, but most of the time it's about men getting drunk, stripping naked, and then getting slapped by girls. But surprisingly, this is what generates the comedy of the show. I never thought a sports anime could be one of the funniest anime of all time, but once again, it managed to surprise me.
でも俺も困っているんだ。だからお前の服をくれないか。
半裸の変態が着ているものをよこせと迫ってきていて。
待った！いとこだよな俺。
All the characters in the show are incredibly funny, and all the non-diving situations make sure that you'll break a few ribs from laughing. Oh, and this anime will give you plenty of motivation to get drunk. Don't know what I mean? Watch it and find out.
急に倒れたぞ。
貧血？
どうした？お前
まあ悪いやつではない。悪いやつじゃないと思う。いや、悪だね。最悪だ。
Number 3. The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. We saw how a diving anime turned into a comedy anime, so how about putting the protagonist of a power fantasy anime in a school filled with people who have the lowest IQ and then generating comedy through it? You guessed it right, because The Disastrous Life of Psyche K is a story that never lets our Psyche live in peace. Either it might be the idiotic mumblings of his big best friend, or the two psychics who always blow away their disguises, or the most popular girl in school who has fallen in love with him, and Psyche now has to manage all of this while keeping his own powers a secret.
大輝くん、ちょっと無視ってひどくない？会釈すらない。私のこと見えてないの？私もう死んでるの？
Want a comedy show with an overpowered character? Then wait no more.
こうでしょ。こうでしょ。
愛子があと3回続いたら2人とも1枚脱ぐこと。
Number 2. Konosuba. Normal isekai protagonists get to defeat demon lords in their own worlds, but Kazuma gets to starve to death with a stupid goddess in his world. And this guy has the worst adventure party of all time. First you've got Aqua, a useless goddess who only makes matters worse. Then you've got Megumin, a character with great potential, but who only practices one type of magic. Finally, there's the Noble Knight's Darkness, and noble is the last word you can apply for this pervert. Konosuba may have a loosely hanging plot, but not even Sword Art Online could beat its entertainment factor. Sometimes Konosuba is a parody to all isekai. Other times, it's one of the best comedy anime to exist. Trust me, no one can turn anime tropes a 180 that fast.
どんな玉でも私が落として。あ、いえ。
じゃあこの玉を落としてください。
Number 1. Gintama. Do you know the perfect anime with the perfect amount of action, perfect amount of comedy, and perfect amount of dry humor, and just the right amount of emotional moments? The equation has only one answer, and that's Gintama. It's an anime that broke a lot of the classical shonen tropes, and also built a backstory that is slowly revealed through time. When it comes to comedy, there is no anime that can match that witty, parody style of Gintama comedy. It's all inserted at just the right moment to make you die laughing.
お年玉のたまちゃんだよ。おじちゃん、お年玉ちょうだい。
The series is already over, and it has more than 300 episodes. So take a long break from work and get ready for some shonen comedy. So there go 10 anime that will definitely make your ribs hurt from laughing. If there's anything we missed, don't forget to sound up below in the comments. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you get notified as soon as we release a new video. Stay safe, anime fans, and I'll see you in the next video.